Right, so our last step is equations involving indices. Okay, so new heading now in your notes copy. Still under indices, but this is the last part of it now. Okay, so equations involving indices, solve the following equations. Okay, so you can see there's 5 of them and they're very different to the equations that we're used to solving. Okay, we haven't really come across this style of an equation before. Okay, so the rule with these is if the bases are the same, so if I'm talking about the bases, I'm talking about in the first one, the base is 5 here, the base is 5 here. Okay, so if the bases are the same, which they are in this case, then all you do is let the powers equal each other. Okay, so if we write that down beside it, so if the bases are the same, then you can let the powers equal each other. Okay, if the bases are the same, then you can let the powers equal each other. Okay, with that in mind, so over here, the bases are the same here, they're both 5. So all we do is we let x equal 2. Okay, and that's it, that's our answer. Okay, we have the equation solved. Okay, right, the next one, so we have 7 to the power of x equals the square root of 7. So I suppose first of all I need it to change this to a power, okay, because that's the whole thing about it, we have the powers equal. So I know that the square root of 7 is the same as 7 to the power of a half. Okay, this is why the other rules that we were doing now all week are so important. If you haven't got those rules right, you need to go over them again before you start this. Okay, so now the bases are the same, they're both 7, so we can just let the powers equal. So we'll have x equals a half. And that's our answer there. Okay, the next one, the bases are the same, they're both 2. So we can let the powers equal straight away. So we'll say 2x equals 6. Okay, now that equation is still not solved though. So we know to get x in its own, we have to divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 3. Okay, so you've been asked to solve. So solve means your final line should say x equals, or whatever letter it is. It could be y or a or b, whatever letter, it should be that letter equals. Okay, right, so the next one, again we have both the bases here are 3, so I can go ahead and let the powers equal each other. So we'll say 2x plus 1 equals 9. And again now that equation needs to be solved. So minus 1 will be 2x equals 8 over 2 over 2. So x is equal to 4. Okay, so once I let the powers equal, I still had to solve the equation. Okay, the next one, so here 2 to the power of 4x equals a half. Okay, so now again the bases aren't the same, so I need to bring this 2 up so that I have 2 to the power of on both sides. So before I bring it up, I'm going to write the power of 1 there, and now I know to bring that up, I flip the fraction and it changes to minus. Okay, over 1, but we don't really need that 1 at all. So if you've got into the habit of not writing down the 1 underneath, that's absolutely fine. Okay, otherwise just take it an extra line there and leave out the 1. Okay, then our bases are the same. Both bases are 2, so we can let the powers equal. So we can say 4x equals minus 1 divided by 4, x equals minus a quarter. Okay, so I'm going to get you to practice those now first before we go any further with it.